Joining me in the studio is Nationals MP and former Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack. Thanks very much for your time. Change of leadership in the Nats. Why has that course been taken? I'm sure it's one that you supported.
Well, because the party room had a vote, and as we always do, we clean slate after an election, and as it has always done in every election, we've always had a clean slate. And David Littleproud and Darren Chester both put their hands up, as obviously the incumbent leader did, as BARNABY JOYCE as well. So the party has decided that David Littleproud is going to take us forward, and I wish David every success and also wish BARNABY every success. I would like to think that the legacy of BARNABY will be the Inland Rail and other projects which he espoused, fought for and delivered. And indeed, the National Party going forward has now got a new leader and a new deputy leader, of course, in Perrin Davey, and delighted that both Perrin and Susan Lee, as the deputy leader of the Liberal Party, both come from southern New South Wales, southern Riverina, my electorate, my patch, so that's good.
You won every one of your seats and picked up a Senate spot. So normally a leader would be safe in those circumstances, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would, but look, you know, as I say, it was a clean slate. So David decided to put his hand up. He decided that it was his time, his turn, put his hand up, pitched to the party room, and the party room agreed that it was time for a fresh change.
It's generational change, is that?
Oh, it is, because he's mid-40s. He's articulate, he's intelligent, he's been around now for a couple of terms, he's been the Minister for Agriculture, and, you know, I wish him every success. I think he'll do a very good job.
Was the view that BARNABY JOYCE wasn't going to run next time anyway, so make the...
Well, we don't know that BARNABY's not going to run next time. The view was that David was going to take us forward, and that's how the party room voted.
I know from covering the Teal seats and a few of the debates with Monique Ryan in Kooyong and Allegra Spender in Wentworth, in those seats, it was quite a potent line. They used it a lot, saying if you vote for this candidate, you get BARNABY JOYCE along with their government as well.
Well, that was
he a negative?
Well, I guess in that sense, yes, he was. But there were many factors as to why we lost the election. But let's face it, those Teals, you know, they are orchestrated, financed. They've got their own colours, their own brands. They talk amongst themselves. They're not independents. They are a party, and they are a formidable party, but they should be treated as a party. They're not independents in the true sense of other previous independents have been. But we'll deal with that. Anthony Albanese, he'll obviously deal with it as Prime Minister, and, you know, Labor Party, well, I just hope and pray that they don't actually ignore regional Australia. We'll keep them to account for that. We'll keep the Labor, Teal, Greens government to account for the fact that they do need to look after the programs and projects that we put in place for regional Australia. And regional Australia, obviously, with the seasons that we've had, harvest coming on, it's a good time to be in regional Australia. So we hope that they don't get ignored when it comes to that cabinet table and the financial decisions that will be made.
There were a number of seats, including your own, where there was a swing away from your National Party members. Is that part of the reasoning as well about this renewal going to Littleproud instead?
Well, I can't speak for other members, but as I say, clean slate. We've made the decision this morning. I wish BARNABY every success in the future, but I wish David Littleproud absolutely every success going forward. We now need to put the past behind us. The infighting and whatever else has occurred, we need to put that behind us and need to form a credible opposition, so that people in 3 years' time can look at us and say, well, the Nats have been very good in opposition. They've made sure that the government was kept to account. They've made sure that the government knew that regional Australia should have been and always is first and foremost priority for the National Party. And hopefully in 3 years' time, the public may well see fit to give us another crack.
Do you think that there needs to be unity on your response on climate change? I know that Sam Birrell, the new member for Nichols, I interviewed him last week, and he said his electorate, a lot of irrigated farmers and so on, they don't want any wavering on that commitment.
Well, we made the commitment in October last year of net zero by 2050. That's what we signed up to. We got a raft of programs and projects as a result of that. We've signed up to that. I think the distraction during the election campaign, where Senator Matt Canavan said it was dead, and that was unfortunate. But we need to leave that aside. We've agreed to net zero by 2050. I'm sure David Littleproud, even this morning, said that we need to be on the one page with this. We need to help the Liberal Party be as credible as they can be to make sure that we form a credible opposition, and we will certainly do that. I'm sure that David Littleproud and Peter Dutton are going to work very closely and well together, just like Perrin Davey and Susan Lee will. But it's just like the Liberal and National parties will do. We've always done. Over the past 70 or so years, we've been a very good and stable coalition, united coalition going forward.
So while the Nats won all their seats, is your concern that your friend, Josh Frydenberg and others copped a bit of the blowback from some of that language around net zero and so on?
Oh, it is unfortunate, and I'm sure Josh Frydenberg will have a big part to play in the public narrative in the future. He's obviously sore and bruised and licking his wounds at the moment, but I know Josh will be back. I know Josh will be back in one way, shape or form. Ken White, I'd love to see him as the next Governor-General, the first Indigenous Governor-General of Australia. I think he has so much more to offer the public discourse and debate. There are a number of members
Ken White, the next GG.
I think I would love to see that.
Do you think that he's got enough support on the other side of politics?
They respect him, and I know Linda Burney, as his opposite, respected what Ken brought to the table, to the debate, and I know Anthony Albanese did too.
So why did the coalition lose the election in your view? What was the core problem?
Well, it comes down to votes in seats, and we didn't win as many seats as Labor did.
Was it due to the former Prime Minister?
There are a number
Mr.
of
Morrison's
No, I'm not going to get into it. I'm sure the Liberal Party will be having their review as they are. I'm sure the National Party will have a review. We will look at where things went wrong, where we need to do better, where we need to re-earn the respect and trust of the Australian public. Let's not forget that Labor also got its lowest primary votes since I think about 1910. They actually lost a percentage of their primary votes as well. So obviously there's an emergence of the Teals. And that will obviously, in the course of time, people will come to learn that that might not always be the greatest decision that they made when they cast their vote at the ballot box. But we live in a democracy, and aren't we lucky that we are? And we've had the decision. We now have to accept it, move on, be a credible opposition. That's what we'll do.
Do you think the coalition needs to commit to big points of difference, say, supporting nuclear power or a policy along those lines?
I'll leave those discussions to the incoming shadow cabinet, to Peter Dutton and David Littleproud. I'm sure we'll be having more to say in time to come.
Have you got any thoughts along those lines on
obviously,
whether Australia should back that?
Well, with nuclear, I mean, we get to zero emissions, net zero a lot quicker than you will under transitioning away from coal, which is going to cost tens of thousands of jobs and tens of billions of dollars of your balance of payments. So I'm sure that discussion will be had, but also I think with nuclear, it probably needs to be a bipartisan agreement before one party just plunges into the deep end.
Former Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Any time at all, Kieran.
Big day for the Nats.